What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 13 of our Millwall career here on Football Manager 20, and today we have got the West Ham derby. Obviously, one of the biggest derbies in football, one of the most physical, contested, whatever it may be, however you want to see it. It's a toughie. It is a tough rivalry here between Millwall and West Ham. But before we jump into it, we're also going to do another game today. The Nottingham Forest. It's the second round of the Carabao Cup, so hopefully we can progress in that, though I'm not too particularly interested in the Cups. If we can survive, that would be absolutely massive to this club. But last episode, we had a really poor time with West Brom to start, and then we, while you were gone, grabbed a 1-1 here with Newcastle. It was relatively even. We were pushing pretty late to try and grab that late goal that could possibly give us a win. But a couple things were learned here. Number one, teams are going to come to our place, like Newcastle, and attack. They were on very attacking the entire game, even when they went down to 10. I believe most teams want 6 points from us, so they'll try very, very hard to grab 6 points from us. We did take the lead, and then we gave a really poor goal away, to be fair. So we were playing that positive style. I'm tweaking different things as we go forward, but you'll see it here. Just a giveaway there, and then right through the middle he goes and slots it past the goalkeeper. So what I'm thinking about doing, we did give the ball away quite a bit in that scenario. What I'm going to be looking at here is probably avoid playing out of the back and see what we can do that way, and hopefully we won't give the ball away as much in that position, and we'll see. But while Newcastle was very attacking on us, we were carving chances out with this. So hopefully, this continues to work. We'll continue to roll with this and tweak it as we go. I have tweaked this just a little bit. What I've done is, since everyone seems like they're going to come our way and attack, I've moved Jed Wallace from attack onto support and made sure that they're going ahead and really marking the fullbacks as they come forward in these instructions here on both sides, Grosicki and Wallace. And then I was going to play a shadow striker here to do a 4-4-2, but I think I would like the extra cover, and I've moved it back, and then moved Garner back as well, trying to see if we can get the wingers out there in space and Bradshaw to kind of chase onto loose balls and things like that. So that's how we started with this, or that's not how we started, but that's how we're going to start today as we jump in to the West Ham game. So let's go. Let's jump into it. We are in the bottom three, though, very early, and we were going to be around that area, I think, the majority of the year. So what we're going to do, I think, is roll with this team right here. And other than changing, I'm not so sure. Marlon Romeo is coming back. He's 75 minutes of fitness, but I don't think necessarily he can get through all the way. So next game he should be fit. I can actually bring him onto the bench, and maybe we can get him a couple of minutes today. Niguez is not really injured. He's out with a cold. I just sent him home just to avoid that. And McCarthy, of course, not completely fit yet. We're going to get them both back. So this is the only game from, the really important Premier League games that Manning is going to have to play on the right side. I think what I'm going to do, actually, is train him on the right side, if I'm not already, and I am, just in case we need him to play there in the future. But, yeah, this should be pretty good. We're going to hopefully get something out of these teams on the road. If we can nick some points on the road, grab a couple wins at home, then we'll make it a God, I can't even figure it out. It'll be close. Let's see if we can avenge what happened last time. We did get beat 3-0 last year. It was probably a bit harsh, that scoreline, but it is what it is. So hopefully nick a point or two on the road, a couple wins at home, and we can at least fight to stay up. We don't really want to get plastered away all the time. Because we may get fired if we don't put up at least a good fight. So we'll see how we go from there. But, you know, it is what it is. So let's see how this tactic works. Hopefully it does, though. Cresswell gets it out wide. Matic has his shot blocked. And ideally, that is the end of the highlight. Fornals is on it. Matic moving it back and forth with one another. And then we clear it. And that should be that. That will take. Tough games. These are tough games. And their squad is so much better than ours. There are some really good players that you would hope to have on our squad, or these, you know, quality players soon enough, but we're gonna have to survive a year or two, maybe 3, just try and survive before we can build up our squad and then kind of move forward from there. But survival is the first thing, and we'll see what we can get done today in terms of doing just that. We've started pretty well. Just a couple block shots from distance from West Ham, but nothing concrete in the first 15 minutes. So hopefully everything goes their way. They're a bit frustrated. Let's see if we can up our motivation just a little bit. And we do have a corner. Ferguson on it. He has it blocked and cleared. Manning's on it. Don't lose it. Gets it out to Jed Wallace. Please don't lose it. And Jed Wallace does well to turn. And then he clips it into Bradshaw. Hits the post with a header. Oh, really good opportunity. Or, you know, almost a really good opportunity. Almost in the back of the net. Not necessarily clear cut. I don't think any headers are necessarily clear cuts very often, but that was very close. We have another corner from the other side. That gets clipped in and cleared and comes back down. And it is looped over the bar. A decent start from us. We have hit the post, of course. If we can just keep this up, it has been very, very even so far, and we're starting to get more and more into this. We're approaching the half-hour mark and doing rather well for ourselves. Hopefully, I mean, this tactic is working nicely now. If we can go on the road and some of these places and get these results, our chances of staying up obviously increase every single time. But everyone is playing decently well. Gardner, the lowest on a 6.6. Mavropanos on a 6.6. They're starting to shrink a little bit as things kind of stick to how they were. Barely been a shot for the last 15 or so minutes. Let's see if we can get creative to end the half here. Let's see if we can maybe have an attempt. And that is halftime, so I'm pretty comfortable with that. While we're not doing badly at all. Let them know. While we're not creating chance after chance, that's kind of, you know, it's going to be a difficult proposition to get that going on the road, but keeping our own like we are right now, very much the goal, and we're doing well with it, Skrzicki gets, ooh, they have a free kick here. Felipe Anderson brings it in, and the header comes in, and Rice goes over the bar. Okay. Nothing from open play yet, which is good. Kind of just strolling along. I'm afraid to change anything. We're playing pretty well. If we can get, maybe Jed Wallace can come off. Mahoney, we said, can play on the right. I'm comfortable with him playing on the right. And we're doing pretty well here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and make that change. Can bring Mahoney on the right-hand side. He is right-footed, so hopefully he can get something in to the box. We haven't had a shot this half, but we're still holding our own, and we have a throw now. Manning gets it to Bradshaw, and he gives it away. Not what I wanted to see, as that gets clipped across, and they're moving the ball now. But we do fall on it. Garner, don't lose it, and Durham. Bakuna, Garner, and here we go. This is what I like to see. Grosicki, and he goes for goal, and it's well wide. But we haven't given them any space, really, to maneuver just yet. And we're doing all right, What I am going to do, bring on some fresh legs up front. Bring on Noel and see if he can cause some West Ham problems. They're uninterested at the moment. We're doing well. I'm just going to keep saying get creative because it seems to be working at the moment. And we haven't scored yet, of course, so this should continue to work. 10 minutes to go. And they've had 8 shots all game. And that is very much what I'm comfortable with, as Wolves are beating Arsenal 2-0. And time is just ticking, and now we have a free kick. Mahoney, let's not lose this here. And that's exactly what we've done. Ajeti, he's hit the bloody post, and we've cleared it. Jesus Christ. Oh, what are we thinking? At this point in time, are we really doing that? And we've given that away as well, but Durham does well. Ferguson. Grosicki. We're moving the ball around all right. Let's not lose it again. Ferguson. Please don't lose it. Cooper clips it forward, and Noel gets it down, and we do lose it. Not what I want to see. This gets clipped forward, and he gets it down. Haller gets it back out. This would be awful. Awful time to concede, wouldn't it? Or actually, depending on how this highlight goes, going to go defensive. As that gets clipped in, cleared away. It's going to come back in. Ajeti clips it in, and it's a free kick to us. All right, we'll take it. Let's go defensive. Let's shore up this point if we can. What I am going to do is I'm going to get Grosicki off. Never mind, I am not. We're going to bring Romeo on. Romeo, get the last minute and a half maybe. If time can just tick and tick. And it does continue to tick. And it looks like we are going to grab a point on the road, which is very much what I wanted to see to start. They've pushed a little bit at the end here, West Ham, but they, other than the one where we just gave, other than the chance we just gave to them, we probably had the better opportunities, and we come away with a point which we're very, very comfortable with. I'm all about that point. Very, very good from us. We grab another point to add. We're up to 2 now. We're going to need anywhere between 35 and 40, but after 3 games, we have 2. It's not, I mean, it's not great or anything, but it's certainly not awful. So that's a pretty good place to start. And we've got some games here where we think we can nick something. We'll check in a moment. I'd like everybody's games to be played, and here we go. This is what I'm looking for. We're still in the bottom 3. But, you know, there are a lot of teams here with not so many points. So, I mean, we got Bournemouth next. That's a game we have to grab at least something from. But a decent start here after that awful result to West Ham. Or not West Ham, West Brom. But a good result for West Ham. A good result for, or a decent result for Newcastle. That's one of those things where you push at the end and, you know, pray you can grab something, just nick a point or 3 points. Didn't quite happen. We were pushing, but they held firm in the end. That is how it is. So let's take a look at the schedule and see where we have games. Oh, we have tough. After Bournemouth, we have some toughies here. It's Liverpool and West Ham, or Liverpool and Tottenham, and then Villa. I think when we're going to play this Nottingham Forest game, but I think when we come back, it'll be Villa-Leicester. 2 games that are going to be tough, but 2 games where we need something from. And Norwich at home is a really good opportunity. Bournemouth at home is a pretty good opportunity, though, from my experience. Bournemouth play really, really well some years on Football Manager here, so we'll see. And Liverpool target Mbappe, Jesus. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to the Forest game, and we'll see how everything goes. All right, here we are, getting ready. This is what I'm going to do is I'm going to start positive on this, but we also have to remember that we are kind of upper sort of end of the championship in terms of squad. So, I mean, so even this game here is a little bit difficult, but we are going to make a couple of changes. Get Cooper to rest. Anyone exhausted that needs a rest? Bakuna is coming back from an injury, so we'll get Hindman in there. Ben Thompson can play as well. Who do we move around? I'm going to bring Tuazi onto the bench instead of Bradshaw, because it's okay there, that way. O'Brien can play. I think we're good with this team. I think. Everyone exhausted? Not quite yet. Everyone playing well. We'll give Gardner a bit of a rest as we try and get, you know, some sort of form going with some of these players. And hopefully we can get it going here. And maybe, you know, if we can go 4 unbeaten, if we can, you know, win this, if we can go ahead and win this, you know, get something from Bournemouth, and then have the 2 games against Newcastle and West Ham where we've nicked points, you know, 4 games unbeaten, that starts to help everybody out a little bit in terms of confidence, and hopefully we can, you know, go forward from there. Though, because we have 2 tough games after that, and I don't want to go into those low confidence and then, you know, you lose 4 or 5-0. It'll be tough. It would definitely be tough. But we have an early throw. Wallace is on it. Gets it back to Romeo, who we've missed a little bit. He gets a little bit lucky, and he goes for goal, and Shelvey does hold on to it. Hopefully it's not the Newcastle Shelvey. His career would have definitely taken a bit of a change there, as that is really Route 1, and Darlow with the save. That is not good enough defensively. Nottingham are on it again, though. That gets clipped back into space. Wrighton. And they're moving the ball around pretty well here as they go for goal, and it's a bit wide. I don't want to get beat here, as I said, but I also am not too pressed about this result. But the performance has to be a little bit better than it started out as already, as that gets clipped back and blocked. Not the best of starts. They are uncautious. Maybe if we... Let's go down to balanced and see how this goes a little bit, because they're all over the place, all over us, as that free kick comes in, and he gets to it, Ben Sheaf, and puts it into the back of the net. Not a good start here. Not a good start. I don't want to see that again. Let's go, guys. Let's wake up a little bit. Hold on to the ball a little bit as we get a throw in. Romeo on it. Gets clipped in. Hindman on it now. Gets it across. Sean Williams. Jed Wallace puts it wide of the mark. Now right from that goal kick, Jed Wallace does well to nick it. Can he get it back to Jed? He can. And Jed Wallace is in here and goes for goal, and he's finished it. And that is the response we were looking for. 1-1. A very, very good response there. As the ball comes in, we nick it off him relatively quickly, and then he's just made the run. Center back has stepped up, and he's finishing that off, Jed Wallace. It's a good finish. We leveled it up here. That's the response we were looking for. Much, much better from us. And Thomas, or what? It's not Thomas. It's I completely forgot what his first name was, but Noel, you know, getting off the mark relatively quickly as Hutchinson goes close. Off the corner. Torles. We're going to call him Noel. That's just what it is. I thought about going to a shorter passing play, especially with them on, you know, their counter-attacking kind of style, but at the moment we've, since we've gone down to balance, we've taken back control, though they have a free kick here as that gets clipped in, headed down, and Darlow with the save. Free kicks causing us issues early on here. Not what we want to see. As Hutchison gets that away, and Wallace just clears it, thumps it out of the box, and cleared away. We're approaching halftime here, 40 minutes, and not awful, but we started very poorly, but we've definitely woken up since, which is good, which is exactly what we want to see. As the throw comes in, Noel's on it, gets it to Jed. And can Jed turn? He can, and he gets right by one, right by the other, slips it in, and Noel grabs his first goal at Millwall, and Jed Wallace and him are connecting very, very nicely today. It's 2-1 just before halftime. Great time to score. And him and Wallace doing very, very well with one another. And Wallace does so well. He skips by one challenge, skips by the other, slips it in, and Noel with an emphatic finish smashes it to that far post. That's a really good goal, and that is the type of football we want to see. Very well done, everybody. As we approach halftime, we can get to halftime. Very, very good. All right, a good half. Not too bad after the really poor start. And, you know, after that first 15 minutes, we've really taken control. And they are now off of cautious and more onto balanced, and maybe that's what's caused them issues, but we'll see. As we have a throw in, Ferguson here gets it back from Knoll. Hutchinson slips it forward. Not the greatest of passes. So that gets clipped forward and headed down. O'Brien gets a touch, but it goes right back to Forrest. We win it back, though. Ferguson on it. Hutchinson, and can we move the ball around? We can. Williams, O'Brien. So some of the old boys here, of course. And then, of course, we give it away. And that's exactly what we want to see, and Darlow does well to save us just a little bit. What a dreadful mistake. Can we stop making those mistakes right there, just giving the ball away? Heineman's not having the greatest game here at Mazzala. We're going to have to figure how we want to... We'll try Bakuna, actually. We're going to have to figure how we want to get Mazzala. We're going to need productivity out of that spot. Hopefully Bakuna can bring it, but Bakuna, as we were saying, is kind of just coming back from injury. But we do have a corner. Can we grab another goal? As that gets clipped in, Bakuna heads it back. Mavropanos on it, and he's lost it too. I hate that so much. You know exactly what's going to happen as soon as they turn with it and slow down. As that gets clipped in, and Darlow does well to save. We've got to stop giving the ball away, and I don't know if that's a bloody tempo thing. I have no idea. I just want them to pass quicker. I mean, those are dreadful mistakes we're making there. And it's letting them back into this a little bit, and it's not good. Not good. I'm thinking about changing out O'Brien at the moment. We haven't really done anything this half. It's not been great from us. Let's see if we can get Mahoney onto the pitch. Can Twazi play here? He can actually play here. What foot is he? He's right-footed. I'm gonna play him out here. Let's see what happens with him on the left. I hadn't thought about him out there, but Knoll is playing really, really well, and I want him to continue to gain that confidence. And Tuazi on for his debut. 15 minutes to go, and we're still holding firm, but we haven't had a shot in a really long time. I don't want to go more positive necessarily because we're trying to hold on for a win at the moment, but that's not exactly how I want to see it. 5 minutes to go, and things are still going the right way. What I am going to do is I'm going to take Jed Wallace off, bring Mahoney on. I'd like Wallace to be rather fit for our next game. And time is just ticking away, and I'm comfortable with that. This tactic, if I were a different team and we were a better team, really, I would be worried. But at the moment, this is comfortable enough for me. I'm comfortable kind of just holding firm and grinding out results if we're going to have to grind out results. And at the moment, we're grinding this one out. We ground out that West Ham one. As that comes back in, Derek was on it. It's going to be clipped out of play, meaning this should be the game-ending highlight, though I haven't seen a shot to figure out why it started so early. And there it is, and he's offside. Thank the Lord. Ryan Yates puts it in. It's been disallowed for offside, and then the whistle blows. Last action of the game, an offside goal. But we do get past Nottingham Forest. Very well done. A good performance. There was a good half hour there where we were really good. Very much what we want to see. Very well done from Jed Wallace here. Very nice. Superb in front of goal. Jed Wallace have started off the season pretty well. We're going to see who we get in the next round of the Cup, because that may change where we come back depending on how it was. I do want to come back for Villa, but if we get a Cup run going, that may also help in terms of just getting the team confident in themselves as we move forward. And that is coming any second now. Ferguson has played rather well to start his season as well. I keep expecting him to kind of just fall off a little bit, but it hasn't happened just yet. Defensively, he's not the greatest, but going forward, he can more than hold his own from left back. Kind of marauding forward and really getting those crosses into good spaces. He does it very, very well. West Ham there win 5-0, but we did get our point off West Ham on the road. It's a good result. We've gotten 2 good results today. Not great, of course, but good results so far. For what we are, you have to be realistic, and to grab, 2 draws from the first 3 games after, not doing so well that first game, of course. West Brom, underestimating them just a little. Well, not underestimating them, but I didn't think they'd come out as they did. We're just going to draw all teams here, and we're away. We've got West Ham again. Twice in 2 years we've gotten West Ham in this bloody cup. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. What is with West Ham? What is with West Ham? Go away. We're not at that level yet in terms of squad. Eventually, I would like to be winning this game all the time, but we'll see. I plan to come back for Aston Villa Leicester, and I think we are going to come back for Aston Villa Leicester. We're going to play West Ham later on in the season. I don't want to play West Ham twice in the first 2 episodes of the year, so we'll avoid West Ham this time around. Especially, it's on the road again. That's so aggravating. But yeah, we'll come back. Aston Villa Leicester will be the game we come back for, and hopefully we've nicked points off of Bournemouth and kind of put up fights here. I don't expect to get too many or any points from these 2 games. But Villa and Leicester are going to be very important for us, guys. But that is going to be the end of this episode. I hope you folks, of course, have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. And peace.